Get in the know. Non-stop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
Happy Big Game Sunday, if you will. That's right, the big game's going on, but it's Vikings Vent Line here on Purple Daily. What's going on? Declan Goff here, the executive producer of Purple Daily, and Mackie and Judd. Figured I'd talk some Vikings fans like we do every Sunday right here on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, on the Purple Daily podcast feed. Of course, Vikings Vent Line is your show, so if you want to get in on a future episode of Vikings Vent Line, shoot me an email. It's vikingsventline@gmail.com. It's actually scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now on the YouTube page on Purple Daily. I'd love to hear from as many Vikings fans as I can throughout the offseason. We do this 52 weeks a year. Obviously, we do it during the regular season with the traditional version of Mackie, Judd, and myself, and Vikings fans live on the screen with us. And then the offseason, I like to host an offseason edition, talk to the Vikings fans about the upcoming season, upcoming draft, reckless draft speculation, reckless free agent speculation. Doesn't really matter. Just would love to hear from as many Vikings fans as possible. So if you'd like to come on a future episode, again, it's vikingsventline@gmail.com. Of course, Purple Daily is presented by our friends at TCL. The big game's on this weekend, so make sure you have picked up yourself a TCL TV, award-winning television. Go check out a TCL TV wherever you get your TVs. Also, Surly Brewing Company. Go crack a Surly for the weekend. Go head on over to the Surly Beer Hall with the weather warming up a little bit here in the Twin Cities. Great options, Furious, Axeman, Logic Bombs, plenty of great options at Surly Brewing Company. So go check out a Surly Beer wherever you get your Surly Beer products. My guy Nick's going to join me here in just a second. We had a little bit of a technical glitch at the beginning of the show, so it's just probably going to be me and Nick here to talk some Vikings offseason. So without further ado, my guy Nick's actually hanging out outside in Arizona. He's living the best possible life imaginable. I was joking with you, Nick, that it's going to be like 40 degrees this weekend in the Twin Cities. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I got 40-degree weather. And you're like, I'm in Arizona, man. This is way better than that.
Right. It's enjoying the outside while I can, because before I know it, it'll be 110.
Yeah. So I've only been to Tucson. I'm not sure where in Arizona
That's where I'm at, is Tucson.
So yeah, so I went to Tucson once about 6 years ago, and I went around early March, so it wasn't too hot. But what was so staggering to me, because I had never been to Arizona before, was the drop off at temp at night, because nothing just holds that heat in. So you just have like a 50-degree drop off from when the sun goes up to the sun goes down, and then you're freezing your butt off if you're outside after dark.
Yep. Like I think last night it got down to 35, and it had been like about 75 yesterday. So it was. Oof. Yeah.
And you're rocking Randy Moss jersey, I see there. Is
nope,
that what you
I am rocking the Jake Reed jersey.
Oh, Jake Reed, even better, man. I love that.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
My favorite dude in the 90s.
Yeah, the 3 deep, right? Moss, Carter, Jake Reed, and Reed was even here before Randy got here. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I had that T-shirt too. I don't know if you're old enough to remember.
I remember the posters and stuff too, and that was kind of right as Jake Reed was getting out of Minnesota was when I was becoming a Vikings fan. So I definitely know who he is. And 3 deep, that's where it all started, man. Always 3 deep receivers. I mean, everyone's got to put respect on the 98 Vikings for that moniker.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people or a lot of fans got their start. But I mean, no way. First team I remember was the 87 team, the one that got beat nasty. And was that the division round to the Niners? Was that 35-10, 34-9, something like that?
It's funny because like every generation of Vikings fan has like that epic loss, right, that they've experienced, and that one was yours. That was the first of many for you. Yeah, hilarious.
I don't remember 41 Donut, because I was, like I said pre-show, I'm a vet, so we were downrange a little bit after 9/11, so I don't remember. I remember seeing the score, but I don't remember the game.
Sure. Yeah, that was my first memory, man. That 41 Donut was one of my first Vikings memories. So that was a brutal one. That was pretty rough for me. Hey, man, let's get into some Vikings Vent Line questions here. I want to know your opinion here, Nick. What should the Vikes do long term with Kirk here? Are you interested in riding this out? Are you interested in cutting him, trading him? What would you like to see them do with Kirk?
I would let him ride the contract out and just let him go. His contract is a monstrosity, so to speak, hamstringing the organization.
Yeah, I mean, when you're making that much money, right, and you're expected to be the man, it can be kind of a bit brutal there. What did you think of his play this year? Were you more impressed with his play this season?
Up until that 4th and 8, I was kind of like, okay, all right, maybe we are onto something here. But when you make that kind of money and season's on the line, you want to just before I get you in trouble.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It stinks because I'm pretty much in a similar vein as you, where I thought he had an amazing season and led those epic game-winning drives and fourth quarter comebacks, and then he kind of lays the stinker on the last play. Where it's like, well, that's Kirk, right there. He is like regress everything, all the good you did, for basically for nothing.
One play.
So quarterback succession plan. Then, what would you like if they moved on from Kirk? What would you like to see them do?
I would try to everybody has that suck for luck thing or whatever. But me, living on the West Coast, I see, Caleb Williams a lot. I would, I don't know, crash for Caleb, I guess. I don't know what else to say, other than, that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's who I would, if you need to give up picks, so be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the tough spot to be in, right? Where if you're going to move on from him, that's fine. But then if the succession plan's a rookie quarterback, number one, are you making it at the right spot so you're not reaching for it unless he's an absolute superstar where you're willing to trade up or trade down to find the right dude. But that would be an interesting slot to go. I think personally, what my gut tells me is they'll probably ride this out one more time with Kirk. I don't know if they'll extend him. I don't know if they'll trade him. But to me, I think it's best served for them to ride it out.
I mean, if you could trade him and you can get some for him, even better.
Right.
I mean, if he walks, he's a third round comp pick at best.
Right.
I mean, if you can get, I don't know, first, I don't think you will, but if you can get first, second, even better.
Yeah, I mean, look at Carson Wentz getting conditional first round picks and Matt Ryan getting draft picks, right? I mean, it's possible. It's totally possible to get like the right draft compensation for him. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I personally think it's the best serve for them to just kind of ride this out, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if they did extend him. If I'm running the Vikings, I ride this out and go from there. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Connor, what are you doing, buddy?
We got our third. There he is. There's Connor. There's our third member of Vikings Vent Line. We got some takes there.
Yeah. That was Garrett.
Garrett. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Connor's right here.
Connor's the dog. Garrett's the boy. Okay, I like it. All right. I like it. Yep. They all got their own Vikings Vent Line takes. I love it, man. That's awesome. Hey Nick, the Vikings obviously hired Brian Flores to defensive coordinator. Thoughts on Vikings getting a new DC?
Love it. Him, it would have been cool with Evero too, but I am on board with a guy who's not gonna. I thought about this too after you sent me the email that that when it came out that Kevin O'Connell went to Ed Donatel and be, hey, this is how I beat your defense, fix it. Mm-hmm. Didn't. So I'm just happy that we're gonna have a defensive coordinator who, if the coach comes and say, hey, this is how I beat your defense, fix it, is gonna fix it instead of just, running it back week in and week out. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Right.
That's Ed Donatello in a nutshell last season to me.
Yeah, dude, totally. I think it was, their 1A target, to your point. Evero could have been the guy there too. Flores
would have been cool. It would have been cool with the side too. Like I actually did some research on him because when I heard that Donatello was done, it's like, okay, well, here comes Sean Desai, because I remember him interviewing and whatnot last off season too.
Yeah, I think they had a lot of decent candidates. Some of them said no for their own reasons, but I think Flores was, I think, the top target there. And if they weren't able to get him, then I probably would have been panicking a little bit more if they were going to run it with Mike Pettin.
Anybody but Mike Pettin.
Yeah, seriously. But I think what was so unique about Flores in his time in Miami was he inherited a horrible defense, horrible team, to be honest. turned him around, like built that defense back up. If he's able to do the same here, obviously he'll probably land a head coaching job, which is completely fine with me.
Hey, that's fine by me.
When you look
that means our defense he turned our defense around.
Right. When you look at the pieces on defense, which ones do you kind of want to see stay here? Like, which ones do you want to see Flores really sink his teeth into?
Oh, into the defensive backfield, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that in the linebackers, but I think that's more of a Kwesi type of deal in the draft and free agency. I mean the guy I would draft, like linebacker wise, would be the kid from Alabama, not Anderson, but the other one, Tutu or Toto, however you say his name.
Yeah, they need a ton of linebacker help, right? I mean, Eric Kendricks and Jordan Hicks are up there in age.
Yeah, and I mean Alabama runs a similar defense to what we're going to be running next year.
Right. Well, what about Harrison Smith? Are you down to keep him? What are your kind of long-term plans with him?
I would like to see him stay, but I don't know. Not at the cost he's costing us, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never a bad thing to have, like that senior or the seniority, because my mind's in college basketball mode, so I'm like talking about that like senior leadership, from like a senior guard or whatever. But like when think about like when Zimmer took over, what was that 2014, 2013, and they went and got Captain Munnerlyn.
Yeah, perfect example.
This is the same deal, I think.
Yeah,
except Smith is an in-house option.
Yeah, that was an awesome signing for them, and he was able to play some slack corner and kind of help revitalize things a little bit on the defensive backside. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they potentially restructure Harrison Smith, better in safety. I think that's a position too where you can kind of age gracefully, if you will. Like you're not going to just hit a complete wall and drop off like you're seeing with some linebackers or like when cornerbacks get near 30 years old. I mean, that's a position where you can still for the most part play pretty effectively, and if Brian Flores can also kind of turn that guy's career around, then obviously even better. With Danielle Hunter, is that someone you're interested in trading, or do you need to have that guy locked in on the defensive line?
Okay, so if we wanted to rebuild, that would be Danielle Hunter would be number one on that list, because he's still young and on a fairly reasonable contract compared to like what Nick Bosa is about to sign or Joey Bosa, what they got, but Hunter would definitely kickstart the rebuild in a big way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to stay here because I think Brian Flores would obviously like that best pass rusher at his disposal. And he's was he in New England when Sam Darnold saw the ghosts on Monday Night Football? Might have been.
I think that's, along the lines. And that's what I'm most looking forward to seeing is a defensive coordinator who can play those chess games.
Yeah. Make those adjustments, keep the other team on their coat. I mean, that's what Donatel just said, this is the system, this is what we're going to roll, and there's going to be next to no adjustments. And it was brutal, right? It was brutal watching the end of it, Donatel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was brutal watching week 2 on, what you talking about.
Yeah, I know.
The second half of the first Packer game on.
Right. Yeah. For 2 quarters, it looked like they were on to something special, right?
Yeah.
Did not happen. I got a couple other questions for you here, Nick. But first, shout out to our friends at Park Tavern. Go enjoy the big game at Park Tavern. I know Judd's going to be there, and they have some great beer products as well. They're located here in the Twin Cities in St. Louis Park. Go check out Park Tavern, and also the Kirk Cousins Foundation, the Crazy Canadian Cousins Crusaders. Go donate to Kirk Cousins charity. Go to kirkcousins.org. Heard you mention this on Purple Daily, and we can all get down with that. I'm curious, Nick, your favorite moment from this season. I mean, plenty of them, right? I mean,
4th and 18, and it's not even close.
4th and 18. Okay, the Bills play.
Yep. To save you from getting in trouble is that the F-it, Justin Jefferson is out there somewhere play.
Yeah. I mean, I was shocked he came down with it because I was thinking.
Yeah, I didn't think he did.
I thought it was incomplete. I thought there was no shot that he pulled that ball down, but he did.
Yeah. And there's no. I didn't think, like you said, I didn't think that he came down with it. I was like, dang it.
Yeah, and there was so many different options too, right? I mean, you could have went with obviously the Colts game, which was epic. You could have went with the first week.
I turned it off. I turned it off.
The Colts game.
Yep. And then I just started Twitter watching, like, because I get, just like probably every other Viking fan, you get the score updates and whatnot from like ESPN and the score app or whatever. And so, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm done watching because now they're coming back. So, what's that word I want to look for here? Dang it.
They kept you on your toes, right? They had your cardiac and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like we're reaching for my blood pressure pills a couple more than
yes. No, I know, man. Yeah, crazy season. I mean, even though I'm just 30 years old, I mean, it was legit one of the most memorable seasons of my lifetime.
Yep.
And
43 and for sure.
Yeah, it was
the only other one that comes close to it was 09, I think.
Yeah. That was pretty
epic. Too bad I think Adrian Peterson just fumbled again. Sorry.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Whole bunch of bad turnovers that 09 championship game. Don't have to rehash those obviously unpleasant memories.
Because then I'll just break stuff, and I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either. You got the kid running around. You're outside. You're trying to enjoy the nice sunshine. I don't blame you, man. Hey, before I let you go here, any other last takes or anyone you want to shout out here before we wrap up on Vikings Vent Line?
A holler, shout out to my wife. Gave birth on January 31st to our one and only daughter, Vivian Margaret. 7 pounds, 11 ounces. She labored for near 24 hours. Our appointment was at like 7:30, and she gave birth at 2:30 the following morning. So,
got
little Miss Viv is in for a lot.
About to say you got more Vikings fans to torch there in your own children. So awesome.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Like my son will during football season. Hey, Daddy, when are we going to watch the Vikings? When are we going to watch the Vikings?
I love that.
So he won't sit. He won't actually sit and watch it with me, but he just wants to know when the Vikings are playing.
I love that. That's awesome. Way to treat him young, man. Good job. Good parenting there. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Nick. Appreciate you coming on Vikings Vent Line.
Anytime, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Do it again if you let me do it.
Absolutely. We'll get you on. And if anyone else wants to come on a future episode of Vikings Vent Line, shoot me an email. It's vikingsventline@gmail.com. Enjoy the big game. Purple Daily back at full strength on Monday with
Kansas City.
Judd and myself. Go KC.
Kansas City.
I like that. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of rooting for KC too. I'm not rooting for Philly.
Yeah, I'm just I still can't get over 2017.
Right.
No. So sorry.
All right, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Daily Minnesota Vikings Entertainment. We'll be talking to you on Monday.